We are quite honored today. We're sitting with the president and the deputy president. This hardly happens. Finding the president and the deputy president sitting in one occasion is a very scarce phenomenon. But we're quite honored as Mpumalanga that today they are both here and we are going to have a successful program. Makhata asishayile labanye bava makhata bahlala nabo Netflix, but we're sure ukuthi today the program will run well in as much as kune makhata siyaqhuba. So I'm going to be your program director today. Ligama ngimpungu kwaKaNtuli ngiyabona babhale ukuthi Joyce la. Kungaspices ligama ngimpungu kwaKaNtuli epasini ngimJoyce. Bengidocela ukuthi sibeke lokusinaka etandleni kwanyalo sibambeni moment of silence stokhona ukuthi laba consulta ko ba consult labathandaza ko bathandaze. We're trying to be accommodative to everyone, so can we have a moment of silence? Thank you. As we start our program, I would like to request the Deputy President, Mr. Golan Mabila, a resident of Nkomazi. TEFLOP is very productive, colleagues. It has produced very, very, very important people in our region here in Nkomazi. So can I request you, Deputy President, to come to the floor and welcome everybody?
Sanbonani. Ninjani. Sabdakun. Before I welcome and open as per the program, let me start by correcting a few things. Miss Yasang. There's one University of Limpopo that is based in TEFLOP at Mankweng. Now, in the University of Limpopo, there's one alumni convocation, that which is a national structure, that is led by the president who's here tonight, Donald Trump. The rest is the provincial chapters. So in future, when you draft your program, you must say program director, treasurer. We know that is a national treasurer. When you say national deputy alumni chairperson, no, I'm a deputy president. I'm not a deputy chairperson. Chairpersons are in the provincial chapters and they're deputy chairperson. You take it from there. Now let me do what I've been requested to do tonight. I was shocked when the program director, Mrs. Zakeres, we are saying to me, Mr. Golan Mabila. No, I'm addressing through you. She never calls me by name, by the way. So tonight she got an opportunity in this event to call me by name. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, all the things I said were on a lighter note. I'm here to officially open this program of the alumni and convocation and also welcome all of you. I've seen a number of faces that we have long met, especially back in the days when we were still at TEFLOP, some of us. You are welcome to Mpumalanga. You are welcome to Ehlanzeni region, in particular at Nkomazi. Now, this is the 65th year since the existence of the University of Limpopo. It started by then being the University College of Limpopo, went to University of the North. 2005, we merged with Medunsa, we became University of Limpopo until today. There were drivers, of course, in the years back, who were driving the alumni convocation. that which we actually took over from to where we are. And we're hoping that after our time, there are those that are following who will actually take over the baton and run with this structure to ensure that it exists until those of who will be taking care of it die, or the people must die but the structure must remain. Now, we thank each and everyone that actually kicked their blankets tonight to come and be here. We know the weather is quite bad outside, and I know the number of people that are here as compared to those that actually RSVP. It's quite a few, and we understand that it's a long weekend. There's quite a number of things that are happening, especially here in Commerce. There are traditional events that are called by the chiefs, and most of the people responded positively to those as well. There are weddings and all those. But those of you that took your time to come here, we welcome you, and we're saying special welcome to the President of Convocation. I was actually not sure that he will be here tonight until I saw his car parked outside, and I said, no, indeed, the man is here. And unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why, he never even called to say, I'm already on my way. Since he called yesterday to say, by 4 o'clock, I'll be there. I said, that's Donald, I know. He's not going to be there. So I was on standby. Now, when the calls came to say we are starting, I know that I was supposed to come and replace the president in terms of giving the keynote. So when I got to the parking and find this car, I said, yeah, indeed, things have changed. It's the 65th year of the existence of University of Limpopo. Welcome. Thank you.
Show that we are now much more warmer than we were when we got here. You see, colleagues, I took off my jacket because when I saw a president come in, it felt warmer here. We knew that this program was going to get ahead. We were not going to have glitches. The deputy president also came in, and we knew that we had hit it on the right spot. You know, when you are given an opportunity to call your leader by name, you never let it go. It hardly happens. It's once in a blue moon. Thank you, Deputy President, for welcoming us. I would like to call on the floor the president of the alumni. Like I said, it is an honor to have the president here in Komazi. He's a very hard person to get hold of. Not because he doesn't answer phones, no, he answers them and he returns the calls. It's just that the president is a very busy individual. Like I said earlier on, TEFLOP is very, very productive. I mean, if you started in TEFLOP and you're struggling with securing a job, I think it's very important to do some internal searching. Not that I'm being disrespectful, but what we were armed with in TEFLOP is very great. I can tell you that in different organizations that I've spent working, every time I see a CV that says University of Limpopo, I know that this person has been well baked. I know that this person has gone through the proper processes and has not skipped even a single one. Because surviving TEFLOP, colleagues, you all know here, it's very hard. I mean, there are a number of dynamics. You've got socio-economic dynamics, you've got political dynamics. So if you really make it through from TEFLOP, you really are made of steel, and it should be much more easier to secure a job and also mentor other people, which is what we're here for. I'm sure that the president will come and give us the main address, and we're hoping, President, that you will still inspire our colleagues that have gone through TEFLOP, who still feel that there's a little bit more that they need for them to conquer. I'm sure that by the time they leave here today, there will be better people, there will be people who are looking, who are hungry for success. Can we please put our hands together for the president?
No, thanks, Program Director. Thanks very much. DJ, I don't know what informed the choice of song, but I can assure you, Deputy President, it has nothing to do with me. It's just the selection. But Program Director, thanks very much. The Deputy President of the Convocation, the Chair of Mpumalanga Chapter, and the entire executive of the Mpumalanga Chapter, the leadership from the marketing division of the university, the director for resource mobilization that I'm told is present here, Mr. Dadlama, and the DD stakeholder for stakeholder relation, Ms. Yasanga Hompashe, and all colleagues that are present, and all the guests for the evening who are present here. I would have acknowledged you, Program Director, the Treasurer. Indeed, you are not National Treasurer, you are just the Treasurer of the Alumni and Convocation. I must take this moment to greet you, colleagues. The sentiment that I was not going to come, at least is dismissed by my presence. It is not by choice sometimes that we do not honor activities. But that's the reason why every structure will have, for every position, will then have a deputy. Because, you know, the president who's always available also denies Temba, the deputy president, an opportunity to act. But maybe to, as it's parting short, colleagues, that me and the deputy president who have worked together for many years, together with the treasurer. And we used to fight a lot. But we always had a way of always working better. So that is why, even if I arrive here without telling him, as he alleges, he doesn't mean, or he doesn't think I want to murray a coup against him. So he knows. Even when I say, can you represent me? I don't doubt that, no, he'll stage a coup, because we have lived together more as brothers than any other thing. At the time when he was the president of the SRC and the treasurer was the secretary in the same SRC, I was the treasurer. And when we want to sign, I will sign with the president to the exclusion of the secretary. And I think, Temba, that's the reason why this time she said, I rather be the treasurer, because these ones I can't work with them being two, because they have a history of sidelining me. But we work together with the two over years. But colleagues, I must maybe, as a starting point, commend the team that saw it befitting that we must have this activity. As you may be aware, this year we are celebrating, as both the Deputy President and the Treasurer have said, we are celebrating a very important milestone in the history of our alma mater. And for those who are there who, after doing the work that they were doing here, I'm told you spend some days here doing the recruitment drive, which is a very, very important role that you are carrying on behalf of the university, so that our alma mater must continue to live. But to the extent that you thought it prudent that after what you would have done, we must converge in this particular manner, interact, share ideas in this format, but also join in the celebrations of our alma mater's 65th anniversary. It's something that deserves a round of applause and is commendable. It is commendable because the story of our university can only best be told by us. We have traveled that particular journey. And that if we do not tell the story of this great institution ourselves, it will be like any other institution whose future has just went down this pipe dream of history. Now, we come here because time and again, and we have said even ourselves, even when we represent you in the council, myself and President Mabila, that the university must continue to do everything to amplify telling its story. Because we come from an institution, and I know the Deputy President touched a bit about where we come from. He just summarized, but perhaps just to dwell on that particular point, that when at a time when our university was formed together with other universities, the then system of apartheid thought they were just building a university college just to skill black administrators, few black administrators and so forth, just to serve them. And maybe to emphasize this point, the university was made to serve and just be a supplier of semi-skilled individual to advance the system that was oppressing our people. So when the apartheid system came with separate development policies and came with a situation where they established Bantustans, for them to create administrators of those Bantustans, they wanted a university like University College of the North to create a basis to support those Bantustans by having a Bachelor of Administration, individuals and so forth. But last did they know that that university will come a brewing center for a what we call a revolution. It will produce for the future of this country what the treasurer is talking about, that a graduate of TEFLOP is an all-rounder, Comrade Temba, who can do, even whether he has done science, if you can find him reflecting on economics, you will think that he has done economics. If you can find a TEFLOP product reflecting on law, you will think that he has actually done law. Because the TEFLOP we came from, or the TEFLOP that we came to know and grow up and groomed us, is the TEFLOP that taught us that first and foremost when you arrive there, you must be inclined to everything. You are not coming there to study accounting, pass accounting and leave. You come there to study. It's a university of life. And I think this is the message, that when you are asked what differentiates TEFLOP from any other university in the country, you must say TEFLOP is a university of life. It has taught us everything. It has taught us how to survive. It has taught us things that are not there in the textbook. That's the TEFLOP that we came from. Now, when the then government did this thing, it never imagined that out of it will come this type of a university that will produce this type of products. The University of Limpopo product, Deputy President, all over the continent, holds very important responsibilities in all spheres. I sit as a member of the Parliament of the Republic of South Africa. Every time I'm looking there at the TEFLOP graduates, I don't think there is any other university that currently has more representation in the Parliament of the Republic of South Africa than TEFLOP. When I look into those people that were there, as I count them, I think the only university that maybe can challenge us is University of the Land. Because any other person, a Temba, when you complete, you still go and further your studies with the University of the Land. I'm referring to University of South Africa. But I don't think there is any other person, any other university outside the University of South Africa. I'm open that I can be challenged on counting those 400 individuals who are in the Republic. If there is a university that has a fair share in that parliament than our university, I don't think so. And these are the people that I can point one by one, that this one was in the university in the 80s, this was in the university in what? Beyond that, even when you look at the executive of the country, look at the products that one or another had a umbilical cord with the university. You will tell me what I'm talking about. You will attest to what I'm talking about. Beyond that, go and look in all the director generals and all the leadership of various institutions in the country. Ask yourself, how many of them have not or have had an interface with the University of Limpopo? Then you'll come and say, the 65 years was not in peril. It was a 65 years of hardship, but also it was 65 years of progress and success. And that's what we must celebrate tonight. A week ago, the university had a marathon of activities that started on a Sunday and ended with a golf tournament on a Sunday, if not on a Saturday. In all those activities, the university had an opportunity to bring all its convocants from various generations to come and reflect in various areas, colleagues, where they are excelling, from communication, from law, from all the sectors. But most importantly was the fact that we had an opportunity once again, as part of those 65-year celebration, had an opportunity to celebrate the life and time of one of the great minds and a most brave individual that has come and passed through our university, Onkgopotse Tiro. And I think we need to commend the university management for continuously keeping the spirit of Tiro alive, because it's Onkgopotse Tiro's spirit that evoked all those who came in the university timber. The Tiro spirit, even when he died, continued to live on in the university, to the extent that every other person and all of you who might have came through that particular pipeline get revolutionized when you get to that particular exchange. So we owe it to him, and we owe him it to his generation and many others who would have came through that particular channel. 65 years, then what? And I think when you do recruitment drive and when you do all these things, the answer we must all answer, colleagues, is now that the university has underwent these 65 years that I'm talking about, Deputy President alluded in brief the challenges that we went through from being a university college to University of the North, difficult times in the 70s that we underwent, difficult times in the 80s at a time when the South Africa was on a burning epoch, everything going either way, that particular period, followed by the 90s when there was hope and optimism, when the liberation movements were unbanned, came to power, university, President Mandela becoming the chancellor of the university, going forward, 1994 political breakthrough, then the university continuing to soldier on with its own challenges now, administrative governance challenges, until we were under administration, under Professor Fitzgerald, went through the most painful process, but you will know you were there, of Fitzgerald. Many student leaders were expelled from the university. We undergo. The university still resiliently survived that period. We got merged with the Medunsa Medical University of South Africa at the time. At some stage, there was a talk that the university must be closed. Resiliently overwhelmed that, went to merger, came out of merger and demerged, created a new university altogether, we remained TEFLO, University of Limpopo. Now we are here. We defined ourselves, colleagues, as the university that must find solution to Africa. The university must find solution to the challenges that face Africa and her children. And we may not have the answers tonight, but I want us to ponder. I may not have all the answers, but as we celebrate these 65 years with this understanding that we want the university that is centered, is Africa-centered, which has a global presence. What does it mean? How do we use the 65 years of resilience, progress, and success to make this great university, and what can be our individual contributions? That's the question we must ask ourselves as we are seated here the whole night, as we are drinking whatever we are drinking, as we are having tea with cookies. And the question we must answer is, how do we individually pay back this university that made us? I don't think I would have made it to be a part of the Parliament of the Republic had it not been this university. Had it not been the training, not in the class practical sense, But in terms of orientation, in terms of conscientization, that came with being part of this great university that's called Great University of Limpopo. How do we individually pay back this university, not for our sake, but for the sake of future generations? How do we make sure that we build on these 65 years of resilience, progress, and success to indeed make this university to be at the center of finding solution to the challenges that face Africa and her children? I think that's what is important for me, Temba. You must ask yourself together with your chapter, how best do we contribute to our alma mater to make it better? And how do we bring even more people to contribute to this? And I must say, we appreciate the teams that are working, our chapters all over the country. You know, when I was on my way coming, so I'm called by one of our fierce critic, who happens to be a friend of mine. So he says to me, I see, where are you going? I'm saying, no, I'm going to Mpumalanga. There is an alumni activity that I must attend. He says, hey, I see this alumni of Mpumalanga is working. These guys are working, and I think you deserve a round of applause. He says, hey, these guys have a lot of activities, and they are always busy. And this friend of mine, as you know him, is a very fierce critic of ourselves. So what do you take about? Then you have not also seen the Limpopo chapter. They are equally working the same way. He says, hey, I must concede. You know, when you guys took over, I thought, this thing has now collapsed. Now I must concede. You guys, your team, and together with your chapters, you are doing a great work. Yeah, you see, it's good when we are told by our critics that we are doing well. Not ourselves sitting around the table with all our chapters, Pungi, Kolani, Lekoko, Temba, and everyone from Gauteng and chapters, and say, hey guys, we are doing well. And Bongo comes and say, hey comrades, you are doing well. It must be our critic. Actually, it must be our work that tells the story. Now, for our work to tell a story is for us tonight to use this moment, even after a year. How are we going to make fair contribution to pay this alma mater that has made us who we are? You wouldn't have imagined, Deputy President, that you would be a municipal manager. When you left here after matric and you arrive in Turfies, you have never imagined that you can be for sure you just wanted to be an official somewhere and just work and your salary and go home. But today we meet in your territory. You can just call your municipality to close lights and call your traffics to arrest us now. You wouldn't have imagined that you and the treasurer would run such a big municipality in the eastern part of our country. You wouldn't have imagined. But it is this university that had made it possible. You wouldn't imagine, Temba, that you can be in a flight alone, flying out of the country in and out, chartered alone, in and out. You wouldn't have imagined. But it is this university, in line with what Pungu was saying, that it has made us, when a Turfies graduate enters in an interview panel, when he enters everywhere, you get a sense that, hey, there has entered a different person altogether. When every time I do some work somewhere, people want to commend me, I always say to them, it is not my wisdom. It's a collective wisdom that the great University of Limpopo has given me. I'm nothing outside it. It is because of various contributions of the people I lived with, and the opportunity for me to live amongst and with these people was created by the University of Limpopo. And that's why you may think we are best. You must first and foremost commend our alma mater. That's what I always say. Now, we must answer that question. And I think I want to thank you, the colleagues from marketing, for having created this platform, because it assists us to answer this question. We have said because we sit in the supreme body of the university, the council, And we have said to the council with Xolani that we would want a situation where the university take advantage of the existing technological advancement so that we move in the same wavelength with developments in the country. So that the future University of Limpopo must be a university that, in its search for solutions to the challenges facing Africa and her children, must equally respond to global challenges. On the same vein, it must move in the same wavelength with the universities all over the world. And we are saying here because if you can look into the infrastructural developments that are there in the university, there is no single university today in this country, of course, save for the University of the Land, that can tell it has major projects like we're having currently in the university. And you'll be happy and glad to know that majority of those projects are self-funded by the university itself. This is the contribution that management team led by Professor Mokhalong as his collective have made us to be. We are a university that is highly financially stabilized relative to what you know as the most powerful universities of the past. We can create our own projects and fund them. That is why we are building 4,500 beds. So if you left, where is that kind of Satu? If you left the university and you have never went back, if you are to come back in 2025, you'll be lost. Because the number of beds that are built currently in the university surpasses the number of beds that were there when you were there. So it simply means we are building a new university altogether. Now the question you must answer with the friends there is, how are you going to assist this university to grow and grow even better? Where you are, whether you are teaching, when you are a teacher, how when this team from marketing comes with recruitment, how do you channel your students to know that first and foremost, they must go to University of Limpopo? And when they ask you, why University of Limpopo, why not any other university in the country, you are able to tell them, that is not just but a university, but it's a university of life that teaches you adaptability and mechanics of survival in the global village, not just in South Africa. That's what we expect out of all of you. I don't want to waste your time, colleagues, compatriots. I also want to take this moment to commend all the generations that passed through the great university as we celebrate the 65th years. We laid to rest maybe 3 weeks ago the first SRC president of University of the North or University of Limpopo, Professor Nkondo, and the university did a great thing of celebrating his life, surpassing any other. Because Prof. Nkondo had been with the university, went to Univen, became a vice chancellor there, worked with the University of South Africa and other universities, but to the extent that he was the first SRC president of University of Limpopo or University of the North then. The manner in which the university came out to celebrate his life was a message that we must continue to keep our touch with our umbilical cord. We must never forget where we come from. This province chamber has produced, when I look into your administration of Mpumalanga, politically and administratively, I see majority of people who came through the pipeline of University of Limpopo. And I must say, it was not by mistake. It was because of the design of the apartheid system. When it created University of the North, it was not a University of the North as in Leboa, but it was university to all the black people in the Transvaal or in the northern part. That's why the people of Mpumalanga have a fair share to that university as the people of Northwest would have. Because that university was a black university for all the people who live in the Transvaal, as Fort Hare was for all the people who lived in the Transkei area. So that's the understanding we must have. And that is the reason why, colleagues, compatriots, we must commend all those who came through that system from here, who continue to make and raise the University of Limpopo flag high. I spent about 3 months here as we were doing the election work. The manner in which I met so many comrades from Turfies who are whether teachers, who are in administration, in municipalities, I just concluded that the people of University of Limpopo are running the administration of this province, which we really, really appreciate. This is one of the province which just appreciated our products. At some stage, we came here to resolve when we're in the SRC Colan, some of the challenges relating to the bursaries and challenges of the students that came from here. But the students from here have never disappointed them. And that is why we must get them more to come to the university to continue to make that university great. The fact that it's not called University of Limpopo is not a University of Limpopo province. We must understand that. It's our university, all of us, and we must continue to go there, make contribution, channel more students to that university, so that we must make sure that our alma mater grow and shine even better. We must also, as Tolani has done, commend all those who has led the convocation and who has led various structures of the university before us. Appreciate also the management team and the governance structure that runs that university, because they are running a tight ship. The marketing division, we really appreciate you because you continue to keep our flag high. The manner in which you guys hosted the 65th anniversary celebration a week ago, and that you are continuing to keep this legacy alive, is highly commendable. We really appreciate. With these few words, friends, compatriots, I think the night has started. We must really enjoy the night, celebrate. The president is here until the morning, so there's no one who must ever say, no, the president address and run away, and the president doesn't honor activities. That can't be correct. The president is forever available. The University of Limpopo is my first love. In whatever I do, the University of Limpopo comes first. So that must be understandable. So the president cannot dodge activities of the University of Limpopo. At any time you want the president to respond to any matter relating to the university, be assured the president will be there. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, that was a mouthful. I cannot address after the president is addressed. All I can say is that we're well-natured at University of Limpopo. Most of us were well-natured, and I'm glad that the marketing team, as and when they go on these recruitment drives, they invite the alumni to speak the truth about the university and what we are. Not so long ago, I met a gentleman in one of the events. It was a science event. This gentleman says, "You people from Mpumalanga, why do you make yourself suffer like this and go all the way to University of Limpopo? We used to see people from Mpumalanga there coming in buses and they didn't have a place to sleep." I had an opportunity right there and there to nullify those lies. I said to him, when I arrived in Limpopo, I was treated like a queen. It has never happened. And fortunately, again, I did not get to University of Limpopo. So I was very, very fortunate, and I know that those who went to the University of Limpopo with me did not encounter such requests after they were provided with a place to stay. So it is very important that when we go to these events and recruit students, we assure them of their safety. I spent, I think, 6 years in University of Limpopo, and and not even one day had I have to use any of my body to succeed in University of Limpopo. So in the first year, yes, my parents were worried that you are going very far. However, the following year, they knew that, no, our child is safe in University of Limpopo. So people from Limpopo, our brothers. Like you said, President, that indeed that university was not for people from Limpopo in the northern parts of the country, but also including everybody, even the former Transvaal and so forth. So we really did feel welcome. Can I request that before they play the video, refreshments are available. People can go fetch their refreshments and then come back and have a sit while they play the audio of the thingy. So, thank you.
Good day, I'm Nkosi Dladlama, the Acting Director of Resource Mobilisation. This unit, it's an institutional advancement office at the University of Limpopo. It is responsible for fostering relations with alumni, donors, and other stakeholders to support the university's vision, mission, and goals. This office typically handles fundraising efforts, manages donor relations, organizes events, amongst other things, and coordinates communication strategies to enhance the university's visibility, as well as securing the financial support. So our work is crucial in the sense that we build strong networks of supporters and ensure sustainability and growth and development of the institution. This is why we're making a clearing call to all of you who are alumni, whom we believe that you're making a difference where you are. And we're making that clearing call to say you can come and make that difference here at the University of Limpopo. We urge you to adopt a student, mentor a student. Essentially, we urge you to get involved. Remember where it all started for you, where you formulated yourself to create lifelong connections and networks that you have built over the years. And it is those networks that we would like to tap into, which is why we're making this clear call to say, as alumni, we would like you to get involved in any way that can help advance this institution to where we want to see it in terms of our vision, mission, and goals. Colleagues, we urge you to get involved, to reconnect with your alma mater, to get involved, pick a project. Where can you contribute meaningfully and effectively?
My name is Nkosi Mabila, Director Research at the University of Limpopo. I would like to encourage everyone in the community to consider University of Limpopo as the place where you can perfect your research skills, your academic prowess, and be able to be prepared for the world out there. The University of Limpopo prides itself with so many alumni that have graduated and completed their postgraduate studies, their undergraduate studies with our institution. We also are so proud of our various thematic areas where we focus on training postgraduate students in matters such as energy, climate change issues, education, as well as mental health, and many other areas of research. I would like to say to anyone who considers further study to say, make the University of Limpopo your first point of exploration, and let's see how we can make you a future citizen of the country, as well as help you to help us find solutions for Africa.
Thank you so much. I'm sure that as we're finishing our refreshments, we did hear the message for the Alumni Connect video, and also the message from Mr. Mabila regarding research at the University of Limpopo. Colleagues, as Mpumalanga, we know that September is a heritage month. And because September is a heritage month, we would like to also make sure that the University of Limpopo, in as much as it's alumni from Mpumalanga, those who come from Limpopo also feel welcomed here. So I would like to call our group, Emasigweni Cultural Group, to come and entertain us a bit. And then after they entertain us, I would like to call the Director of Resource Mobilization, Mr. Bonkosi Dladlama, to come to the floor.
Zobalobolela, zobalobolela, thina zobalobolela, thina sabathanda, zobalobolela, thina sabathanda.
as babuleti libitsoki bongeng kosi ladlama kine kisaira malume kere greetings to the national president of Alumni and Convocation University of Limpopo, to the deputy president, to the Mpumalanga chapter, and everybody that is here, including my colleagues from marketing. So usually in events like these or similar to these, people with the title presidents, they are usually put at the end of the program, so that some of us who are not necessarily gifted in speaking, we can say in everything that we need to say in accordance to our notes, so that he doesn't take everything from what we intended to say. So I will say, on the flip side, he has made my job a lot easier, because my responsibility here is to call for action to yourselves as alumni. Because as much as you have heard about the achievements that the university has achieved, there's still more that needs to be done. Now, I'm sure from the speech you must have picked up that he has mentioned that this university has produced a lot of prominent people who are doing significant changes into the economy, who are contributing massively into society. I liked the analogy that if you look at the parliament of the country, the majority of those people came out from this university. I will say it's not only the parliament. If you also look at the strategic economic sectors of the country, I can confidently say there are many people. Let me not categorize and say majority or this number of people, but many people came from this university. So with that being said, this university has significantly contributed to the economy of the country through the various programs that it offers. Now, one of the things that you have mentioned, President, you said the university also needs to be agile and ensure that it inclines to the digital transformation, looking at the rapid technological changes that we have observed, we have witnessed, and I can tell you that we are very intentional when it comes to that. If you look at our strategic document 2024-2028, there is a whole page dedicated to the digital transformation. So recently we have held as management a workshop, a 2-day workshop, where we were looking at which approach should we pursue, which areas should we look at, and how best can we transform this university to become digitally inclined and respond to how academic responsibilities needs to be delivered. And I can tell you now that within this period that we have developed the strategic, there are certain milestones that we would have reached. Now, as you might be aware, and I know that you are aware since you are our alumni, we envisage to be a leading university. That is our vision, focused on the developmental needs of our society. And then as well as in the process, we intend to epitomize academic excellence and innovation. Now, just that part of innovation, it speaks now to the element of digital transformation. Now, I have said we are intentional as the university to ensure that we achieve that. So how do we do that? By making sure
that we foster meaningful partnerships and relations. So recently, I was privileged enough and trusted by the institution to go and represent the university together with other universities in the United States. This is where we went and did our benchmark exercise just to see where are we within the global sphere as a university. Can we compete? Because if you look at our rankings currently, I know there are different ranking organizations. In the country, we are number 15, but other rankings maybe can rank us even lower, but we play with between 15 and 17. So we are relatively doing well. And then in the world, we are 3006. So, which is why we saw it fit that let us go to those universities that we've got relationships and partnership with to resuscitate those collaborations that we had. So I went to the United States in Iowa State University to look at how they are doing things. And the success that we have observed there, they are very much intense and intentional when it comes to community engagement, when it comes to alumni relations. You know, I was pleasantly impressed when we were walking through the buildings. They could, out of the 12 or so buildings that I have seen, or 6 or 7 buildings, if my math is serving me right, 6 or 7 buildings were built by alumni. They could point some of the most expensive equipments that they were pointing to. Equipments procured not by the university, but by alumni. So, which brings me to this point, colleagues and our esteemed guests. Let us also make our contribution. Maybe we might not be in an economic status that may allow us to can do that, but within our sphere of influence, there are people we can talk to. Within our positions that we hold and the partners and the networks that we have, there are people that we can engage with on behalf of the university. So this is why it is important that I remind you of where you have started. Think how things were for you when you were at the university and where you are now. And we want you to make that clarion call to those that you know, to say there is a University of Limpopo, and unfortunately, if you look at our economic and socio economic conditions of our country, there is a greater need for us to play a role in making it possible for that high school learner, that primary child who aspire to be where we are. So what am I saying? Where we are, we can adopt a child, we can adopt a school, we can adopt an NPO to help those kids to also, be part of this prestigious institution. I'm saying prestigious because, yesterday there was an event which we went to, and then I was proud to say one of the people who came through this university is a sitting president in this very country. Not only here, when you go to Malawi, Lazarus Chakwera is also a sitting president who is our alumni. So I'm making a call to yourself to say, extend that hand, extend that call, encourage people to give and to participate and to be part of the growth trajectory that this university is in. So, colleagues, with that being said, I'm saying to you, reconnect and reimagine the university that will be counted amongst the best, not only in the country, not only in the continent, but in the world. So thank you very much for being part of this event. I'm hoping that if next year we host this event, we will be hearing reports that might encourage others also to make
Earlier on I said that University of Limpopo graduates are well equipped, but as alumni and those who have already succeeded to a particular extent, it is our responsibility to mentor those that are coming out of university, to make sure that they succeed, to make sure that whatever work has been done at the university does not end at the university, but we continue to make sure that everybody that is a product of University of Limpopo is successful in their lives, is successful in their actions and everything else. So it is our role, President, that we must continue to mentor those that come from the University of Limpopo. It is our role, President, again, that when we sit in Parliament, we make sure that opportunities are provided in a fair and equitable manner. We cannot continue in a manner whereby certain institutions prioritize certain students that come from certain universities and it becomes okay. We should make sure that these private companies that are operating within our country has that equitable share. I know that somebody will argue and say that in these private companies you've got alumni of other universities. However, if you are operating within the South African landscape, it is important to acknowledge that if our president comes from University of Limpopo, our members of parliament come from University of Limpopo, we have certain powers to ensure that these internships that are given by the likes of your Standard Bank, your APSAs, your KPMGs, and all these other private institutions that are being successful in South Africa, in a South Africa that is led by alumni of University of Limpopo, these students that come from University of Limpopo must be considered for positions whereby they can hone their skills in a work environment and become a further success of what we are talking about today, of what we're celebrating, that 65 years. So can I please call next to the floor Mr. Sfisis Laula from the Mpumalanga chapter to come and give announcements, and then he will be followed by the DD for Stakeholder Relations, Ms. Siasanga Kompashi.
Kina kanjani makhaya songena. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now that's the Teflop I know. What exactly the president was talking about. When you land in Teflop, you are just introduced to politics, nothing else. And what grooms us is not what we get in the class only.
but it's the environment and our participation in general in the politics of the land. Thank you, Program Director. You have been stealing a lot of our programs. Hey, I see your stand here has now about 10 programs. So each time you come here, you leave one and you go sit there, you take one and come with it here. But let me take this opportunity and greet the leadership of the alumni as led by the president and the entire national office bearers. You are greeted. And then take this opportunity and also greet the university staff as led by the DD, Sia. We have been together since Thursday, and it has been a very difficult but yet fulfilling days that we had since your arrival. Mine is very short, just to make an announcement that on the 5th of October, we will have our annual general meeting as the Mpumalanga chapter. It will be hosted in Mbombela. We are yet to confirm the exact venue, but between the capital and M20 Arena, the two venues, one will be approved and you will be notified during the course of this week that we are about to start. We want to encourage that you attend and extend invitation to all the alumni of the university around Mpumalanga. We have invited a number of companies and departments such as your agriculture, and we also invited Mega, MTPA, and MTPA has already confirmed that they are coming. They will be exhibiting career opportunities that they have there. So we request that we try to assist even our alumni that are not working to be part so that they benefit, because ours is to assist each other in order for us to better our lives. A number of companies, of course, we have also invited, and a lot of them are showing a huge keen to be associated with the university. So we are very delighted that you came through today, and we hope to see you on the 5th when we have our AGM to give feedback on the activities that we have done, and we draft together a program of action for the next year that we are going to be taking part on. Thank you very much.
Makaya tina ngena skokele dosos boyele makaya tina ngena songena ganchan.
Thank you, Mr. Slav. I know in Turflop, they used to say that there are those who've got anarchy. Mchana, I was also called an anarchist at some point by the likes of the president. Hey, Punk, you've got anarchy, man. So you're not alone here. Can I please ask the DD, Miss Siasanga, to come and give us closing remarks so that we can have this singing. We can sing now and remember Teflop after we have our closing remarks. Please put your hands together, colleagues.
Good evening, everyone. The treasurer was just asking me, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, the name Siasanga is not a name that is familiar kumhlaba waseTurfies no Mpumalanga. I am Dingowapi. I am a mixture of Xhosa and Sesotho. The name is Siyasanga, the surname is Hompashe. My original surname is Hopase, but we know Home Affairs. President, now that you are sitting in Parliament, we are hoping that things will be different in terms of making sure that we are not being butchered. So yeah, I am from the Eastern Cape, and I must say, colleagues, that I am jealous. I am very, very jealous. I'm jealous because I don't consider myself as an alumni of the university. Yes, I am an employee. But when I hear about the history, the rich history of this university that has now become my home, I become so jealous. Because where I come from, obviously the Eastern Cape, Forte is one of in fact, it's the biggest university in the Eastern Cape. And it's known across the globe. I don't want to minimize the popularity of the University of Forte across the region, which is Africa. It's known across the globe for its production of African leaders. But when I came here, and when I say here, I mean Turfies, I was shocked to realize Uguti, Forte is not the only black university, if you may allow me to call it that has contributed to the struggle of the country. Turfies has. And I want to blame, not to blame, maybe blame is a harsh word. I want to challenge our alumni to say that as our brand as ambassadors, perhaps it should be your responsibility to make sure that in as far as the role that the University of Limpopo has played within the struggle of the country, you must take the lead in the responsibility to making sure that, or in making sure that it is known by the world. Uguti, aslalanga man, the likes of Abu Tiro, the likes of Abu Josephine Mushobane, and many others that have contributed immensely into the liberation of the black child. When I came here, I know I'm supposed to be giving closing remarks, but when I came here, one of the professors at the university asked me, why Limpopo? And before I came here, I was at Rhodes, before Rhodes, I was at Wits, before Wits, I was at Stellenbosch. So you see, it's all the white universities. And this professor asked me, why Limpopo? And my answer was that I think it is high time that as the black professionals, we prioritize our roots, we prioritize our heritage, we prioritize uthina bethu, we prioritize the empowerment and the development of the black child. Because if we don't do that, thina singabantu abamnyama, if we don't fight for our own, when we reach, this hall has two levels. There's an upper level and the lower level. We are at the lower level. When we reach the upper level, we don't send the ladder downstairs, then we don't grow together as the black community, right? So I'm saying to the professor, I came here to give back to my people. I came back here to make sure that part of the legacy of the University of Limpopo, which has now just celebrated 65 years, kunomzila, niyawazi umzila yintoni? Kunomzila ongowam that I can own as Usiya Sanga, as a descendant of Bafokeng, as a descendant of Amatolo Odlangamandla Ongonyankomo, as a descendant of Amafundle. So I want, the reason why I'm sharing this with you, I'm trying to talk to the human side of everything that has been shared here. To say that, sometimes izinto sizijonga ngendlela lemfundo. We look at things with an academic eye because we are operating in that space. We are academics. Sifundile sinama PhDs, kunabo dokotela lana kunama associate professor and so forth. We look at things from a perspective of ipolitiki, but we don't attach our emotions to things. So I'm appealing to everyone here to say that attach your emotions and your feelings to your home, which is Turfloop. In order for Turfloop to be able to grow and be the Turfloop that you want it to be, you have to build it. No one else. Not in Dadem Khalong, not his executives. It is you, the ones who have gone through the corridors of Turfloop as the alumni. When we're working on this program, colleagues, you will see right at the corner, just above, there's a gold something there. We came up with those key messages or keywords to say reconnect with your alma mater. And we are not saying you are not connected. You are connected. But perhaps it is high time that we elevate the connection to a higher level as the alumni of the University of Limpopo, right? It is high time that you, as our alumni, you are able to say, hold on, back up a bit. The programs that you are offering as a university are not talking to what the industry is expecting. Isn't that so? I hear you are MDs, you are CEOs, you are general managers. Doso is in parliament. He now informs policy. He speaks on behalf of us. He says things that we didn't send him to say. But we support him. We are behind you, President. We are behind you. So the reconnect speaks to that, colleagues. Yes, you are connected, but reaffirm your connection with Turfloop. Be in a position where you are able to say, let us have not necessarily a say, but masibe ne galelo. Selazi galelo mos. Those who don't know, guys, now the afterwards, I will try and explain by ndoni galelo. Isikhuwa wena siyathanda ukuhamba. Sometimes data yesifuwa iba limited. Singamaxhosa, singama Pedi, singama Ntontoni, and it singamaswati. The second key message that we came up with was reimagine. What are we reimagining? There are a lot of developments currently that are underway on campus. Sibizi khulumente, sibizi. Those who have not been on campus, the next time you are there, uzawucemba famba ulahlekile. Hayi mntase uzabe ungalahlekanga. Uzabe ufikile kanye eTurfloop. Lewa ukuyo ngo19 simangimanga. Udirector wami ke uyathanda ke ukuthi it's a pity is not here. Uyathanda ukuthi xa isenze reference ngomuntu amaziyo athi no, I know this guy, we were together now from 1986, I know him, we are friends. He will always make reference to 1986. So if you were there in 1993, and you haven't been on campus recently, you will not know Turfloop. It's not the same. There's a lot happening. So when we are saying reimagine a future that is so bright, that it's not even blinding. I don't have a word for it. A future that will open doors for future generations, for your children. You know, it saddens me sometimes when I talk to colleagues, abanabantwana abenza grade 12, athi umuntu owami umntana nanzi amse-vets. And my question, because recruitment is part of my portfolio, and my question is always into ethi, but why not UL? You work for the university. The university pays your salary, the same salary that you are going to pay fees for umntana wako umse-vets. Why angazofunda apha? Niyayiva bethu nalento ndithetha lento ndizanayo, which means that at some point, somewhere, we lose faith in an organization that has been in existence for 65 years. Can we ask ourselves why? And in asking ourselves why, we try and reimagine a better Turfloop. The last message that I came up with was to renew. We are appealing to all of you here to renew your commitment to the university, to university programs. We see you, we see the programs that you are doing as the chapters. We clap hands for you. We are in support of everything that you are doing. But I'm going to say this again and say, let's elevate. Kungani na thina singafikeleli kwinqanaba apho the likes of your Stellenbosch and other universities ezikulo, be it in terms of the research outputs, be in terms of the rankings. We have the capabilities. You know, University of Limpopo is well positioned. It's well positioned, President. If you don't know what I mean, go do your research. The neighboring African countries, esilinga kuzo, see University of Limpopo. I'm thinking of economic trade. What are we doing about just nje vicinity yethu as a university apho sibekweko senzani? Xa ndisithi senzani ke, I'm asking you as our alumni. Ifana nohulumente lento. Mostly politicians bethunani, they cannot give us services benguhulumente. They need partnerships. Ager they need partnerships. So the university also needs you to partner with them. Someone mentioned the importance of, I think it was the treasurer, the importance of you, our alumni, playing the role in terms of opening doors for us when we say we need support, be it for resource mobilization and so forth. We need you. We need you. Our university cannot survive and will not survive without you. You are a very important key stakeholder of the university. I hope you know that. And I hope and I pray that when we do these kind of programs where we are saying, let's gather around, let's talk to one another, let's come up with ideas. Sisithathela ingqalelo i-programs ezizokumila kunjena. Lastly, I want to thank everyone who came to this event. I want to make a confession now. Ndibonile ke ba namhlanje kuyaconfesswa. Ndifuna uconfessa President. Hayi mntase, ngiqonda ba awuzi kanti ba ndaqonda ba mandilungise udeputy, ndathi deputy la nkwenkulu ingangafiki. Hayi ndikhokhasile mntasi. Ndathi kuku deputy la nkwenkulu ingangazi. Ndakuxela naphaya ku chairperson uDr Mdaka ndathi ndimadolwa nzima. Ngathi angangazi kodwa ke uthe uyeza. I am so humbled that you are here. I am so humbled that both of you are seated next to each other. This is big, colleagues. This is massive. Thina ke bantu ba organizer such events. I've never had the privilege, even in my previous universities, where I had the president and the deputy zibe present. Omnye uthumela omnye all the time. I also want to thank the EXCO, yes, in Mpumalanga. Wonderful, wonderful people. Mpumalanga chapter, you are led. You are led. We came here nge invitation yaseNkomazi municipality initially. But being the person that I am, I said to the team, if we are going to Mpumalanga, it's going to be trip number 6, guys, for 2023. Let's make it worthwhile. Let's make it big. As now you're like event yaseNkomazi, singobanti. Kukho ingoma ke yesiXhosa ethi ubodumzela xa ungena endlina sowungena ngenyongo. Hayi singenile shem ngenyongo eMpumalanga. Sazenzela iprograms zethu. Ngoku besingaplananga ngolo hlobo. But the support that the EXCO gave us, so amazing. I also want to thank everyone that has honored the invitation. It's cold outside. I'm sure you would have chosen ingubo zenu, nihlale ezingubeni zenu, be it izingubo ezinamehlo or ezinendlebe, kodwa ke nilapha. We thank you for that. And I want to thank the team. Iteam yam ke iyayazi uba I always say to them, there's nothing mna that I can do as the head of stakeholders relations. Andazinto mna ndingumntwana. I am rested on shoulders zabo efa. Ndizanibiza ngamagama ke guys ke ndicela uba nikhona niphakame. Efa ngicela uphakame bakubone. That's EFA. EFA is responsible for community engagement and partnerships. But we came here for a recruitment drive. She's here. She's supporting. There's ugogo, Angel Muhloti. There is Utrudi, Iashelom Jaho, and Mazge uba upina. Unobuse kitchen xa ndimbiza ke ndithi ngumasinyolo akalithandi ke lo gama. There is uGloria simshiyile ekhaya, she had a bereavement. There's Rulani inobubhizi naye ngaphaya. There is uBongi ebelapha uBongi. Sometimes uBongi ndiyamlibala colleagues ba ngumyeni womntu. Ndivela ndimbambe ngebhatyi ndithi masambe. Oh Miss Aram sihambe. So I thank you colleagues. There's the media team abopheladi. There's Oscar. Yo guys, if andikubizanga igama lakho, there's Funky, the camera guy. Na abanye abantwana bam ngemva. We are a whole team. So thank you very much Bethunani. Lastly, there's food, there's bev, there's water, there's soft drinks. Let's drink, eat and be merry. And when you are driving back home, let's please be safe on the road. If you cannot drive, kuya Uber show up. You call Uber. Nina Niabopha. Niyabopha ne? Okay. So if you can't drive, mntasekhaya mna I'm a centennial andisiba nayo imali zokubheki. So please, if you can't drive, get someone else to drive you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the evening, colleagues, and be safe on the road.